Time to enter the world of real estate in Oahu with Hawaii's only true real estate radio show, the Team Lally Real Estate Show. Grab a pen and get ready to take notes. For the next full hour, Hawaii's premier real estate leader, Adrienne Lally and Attilio will bring you the latest in real estate news and real-world strategies on how they can guarantee to sell your home at a price and deadline you agree to, or they'll buy it. Now, here are your hosts, Adrienne and Attilio.
Welcome to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the guaranteed sold program, or we'll buy it. If you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Hey everybody, this is Attilio, and I want to bring to you something that I learned on a TED Talk. I love listening to TED Radio. TED Radio is a podcast. Highly recommend it, because they take little snippets of a similar topic and then put them all together on about a 1 hour podcast. Anyway, this one had to do with neurogenesis, and we're going to test Adrienne's recall, see if neurogenesis is working for her. What is neurogenesis?
It's where you're learning and you're growing and you're creating more.
That is incorrect, man. No.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. You're.
I'm in the right direction.
You're in the stadium, still kind of up in the nosebleeds, but let's get you down on the stadium floor. So neurogenesis is the production of what?
Neurons.
Neurons. Correct. Now you're on the stadium floor. We are incommunicado. We're talking about the
You're
same
getting
thing.
very specific.
Yeah, so neurogenesis is the production of, this is a French scientist, and that's her one thing in what she studied. And what she found is what happens about age 26, Adrienne, for human beings with neurogenesis.
They start slowing
down. So neurogenesis, oh, by the way, you're like, what are neurons? I'm glad you asked. Neurons are the things that, it's the chemicals or the part of your brain that transmit information throughout your brain. So it's part of your thinking process. So it's important that we continue to promote neurogenesis to create neurons in our brains.
That's why I said it's like part of learning and growing.
Perfect. You were there.
Mm-hmm.
You were there. Okay, you down maybe first section, but maybe not front row with the learning. Mm-hmm. But you're close, because if there were six sections in the stadium that had to do with neurogenesis, things that promote neurogenesis, there are 6 things. Do you remember what one of them is? And I don't know if I'm going to remember all 6 of them because I don't have my notes.
Okay, so I know one of them is exercise.
One is exercise. Exercise is what we call non-prescriptive medicine. What does that mean?
That means that you're not taking medication and putting it in your body.
You don't have to get a prescription. Yeah. It's just get off your butt and do something. Mm-hmm. And I know I mentioned this on other shows. You don't have time to work out. First thing you jump out of bed, 10 air squats, 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, rinse and repeat for 30 minutes. All right, what's another one? That's number 1, exercise. And these are not in any order of importance. They're just in the order that we're remembering them. Mm-hmm. Exercise is one of them?
I believe I recall being able to laugh.
Yeah, being able to laugh and or avoid stress. Laughter is a way. Somebody's in your face and getting all upset with you. Just laugh at them. No, just avoid.
Laughing is helpful.
Avoiding stress. Stress actually demotes or retards neurogenesis. What's another one?
Eating healthy.
Eating healthy. They find that Mediterranean plant-based diet is
avoiding the processed foods.
Avoid processed foods. Believe it or not, eating chocolate promotes neurogenesis. And then what's another one? I'm trying to remember all of them. Well, you know what? What's one of them is sleep. Make sure you get enough sleep. Lack of sleep actually has a negative effect on neurogenesis, getting enough sleep. And it just depends on different people. A minimum should be about 6 to 7. Mm-hmm. And so not too much, not too little, kind of like Goldilocks and the 3 bears with the porridge, but just right. Mm-hmm. And then what's another one?
Was reading or learning.
Reading and learning.
Like crossword puzzles.
Even let's say you go on a run or a walk, take a different way. Go a different way. That promotes learning and growth. Anyway, speaking of someone who will help you take a different path in your property investment.
And is always learning and growing about property management.
And improving his ability to take care of your number 1 investment, your investment property. We got Duke. And where's Duke from?
He's with Hawaii Pacific Property Management.
Hey, Duke.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
So today I want to just talk real quickly about the effects of termites in Hawaii. Okay, so termites in general are not as prevalent in some of the places in the United States. So when people come here, especially military people, they go, "Oh, we don't worry about termites." You know, if you're from some of the areas that are not affected by termites, so I think the Midwest is not, but they've got them on the West Coast and they've got them on the East Coast. So I don't know some of the places that people would not be affected by termites. But termites in Hawaii, you're battling two different types, two different species. The flying termite and the ground termite. Most people are aware that the termites fly, but they never see them in the ground.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the ground ones are the ones that you really got to worry about because they're under there eating your foundation.
Yeah.
That's where the issues come in. And you never even see those because a colony of termites can eat a pound of wood a week.
Wow.
So,
A lot of times, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, with your owners, what do you recommend? Like when you take on a new property and you're educating these owners about termites, how do you prevent that?
Well,
I just want to insert that the local brother termite eats 2 pounds a week with rice and show you.
Yeah, with all the sides. The problem comes in when we get a tenant who says that they keep sweeping up dust.
Yes.
And they don't know what that is.
The droppings.
So a lot of the droppings. A lot of times we'll go and look at it and say to the owner, "Hey, Mr. Owner, you got termites."
Mm-hmm.
And the owner will say, especially if it's a condo, "Can we just spot treat it?" Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can, but it's not long term.
Yeah.
So, there's all kinds of stuff on TV. There's this orange wood thing. There's all kinds of reasons and things and techniques that they can come in and spot treat stuff with. But I will tell you that every time we've had that happen, it never is permanent.
Yeah.
They always come back.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're in a condo and you put cabinets in, a lot of times the termite eggs are in the cabinet wood. So you're not going to get rid of them, and they're going to hatch someday, and then they're going to start eating.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in a single-family home, I'd just say go get a tent.
The fumigation.
For $2,500, $3,000, you're looking at $1 million home. That's a minimum cost.
And then how often are you seeing these tentings having to happen, especially when it's tenant occupied? It could be a little tricky with the logistics.
Yeah.
It is. And some of the tenants have tenant insurance. And that's why we tell them they got to get renter's insurance because renter's insurance will find them a place and reimburse them for their costs of being kicked out during a termite inspection.
Oh,
so
that's good.
Now the actual gas is going to be a day.
Yeah.
But it'll probably take the early morning for them to prep the tent up, and then the late afternoon on the next day to take the tent down. So you're looking at 2 days to try and be away out of the house. And if that's the case, then the tenant will get tenant insurance or renter's insurance to help reimburse them for their hotel costs or their costs to go get a place to stay.
Now, what about the food? Because I know that can be a tricky kind of situation. How does that work?
If you ever went through a tenting, you will know that you have to bag everything. Actually, I should have said, you have to double bag everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to bag something, and then you're going to put it in another bag.
Yeah.
And so all your perishables, your refrigerator, everything in there, because it's sucking in air from the outside, has to be bagged.
Except for the kids. Take them with you. Don't leave them. Don't double bag the kids.
No.
Only the bad ones.
And then you're talking about anything in a box, like anything cereal or, anything in a box has to be bagged also. So for me, I went through that, and it took me 2-3 hours to bag everything.
I know. It's kind of like you're moving out, but you're not really moving out. You're just moving out.
Right.
Partially
moving out. And then you got to move back in.
You
Right? You got to unbag everything.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So sometimes we ask the owners if they give them a little rent relief for the inconvenience of going through that whole moving out, moving in process.
Plus, you got all the dead bugs they got to go sweep up, and they're not too happy about that because they get nuked too.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and you get a 5-year warranty, but if you're a homeowner and you got $1 million home, which is the average price of a sale in Hawaii now, a $3,000 termite bill is very minimum.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do it, your house won't even be worth $1 million next week.
Yeah, to
especially if
repair
you're
that damage.
Eating up all structural
Yeah.
things and
Could be hundreds of thousands
grandma's
of
core
dollars.
dining table.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
it's not worth it.
Yeah,
not worth it. So
it's
and then
not worth it.
if you guys do the like go and do a property prep visit before they put the tenants in and you notice that, then you guys will probably catch that and recommend they do that before they
We do.
place the next
Exactly.
tenant. Yeah.
Well, the cleaners will probably leave us a note.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's all we got.
So anyway,
Excellent tip,
Yeah.
as always, Duke.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
all
so
right.
much.
Talk to you soon.
All right. How can we get a
So
hold
you
of
can
Duke?
get a hold of Duke and his team at 445-9223. You can also find him on our website under the resource tab and experts we trust.
Next up, we got Dan, the man from the Big Island of Hawaii. What is going on over there, Dan?
Yes. What's the report?
Hello, guys. Aloha. Good to talk to you again.
Yes, you too.
I just want to let everybody know that I had the pleasure of having Attilio and Adrian over here on the Big Island for a visit.
Yeah, that was fun.
And we had a lovely day.
Yeah.
We did.
It's nice over there. I think
Nice
more people
lunch.
should go visit.
I know.
Yeah, I tell everybody that. Like, why aren't you coming to visit me?
Yeah.
Even the people who are listening on the radio show, I don't know you. Why aren't you coming over to say hi?
From Tukona.
It's fun.
Make a trip.
It's a
It's
little
easier to travel inter-island now.
Yeah.
it's a little cooler over in Kona
It is.
than
It was
Oahu.
nice.
I noticed.
A little bit cooler. A little bit cooler. The people are kind of chill.
Mm-hmm.
And you know,
Different vibe.
I'd say it's not busy swamp busy like it is over here on Oahu.
Yeah.
Because everything is super swamp busy over here, but not so.
No, I think it's busy, but they're busy out with their rental cars everywhere because
Yeah.
there is still a shortage of rental cars. But thank
Right.
goodness for Turo. Is all I have to say.
Turo and Dan, because Dan would pick us up.
And Dan.
So
Thank
if you're
you,
looking
Dan.
to buy a $10 million home, I'm sure that you can call Uber Dan.
No.
That is correct.
He will
But
take you on a
must be
tour.
Have
pre-approved
that right.
first.
Pre-approved.
Proof of
I mean,
funds.
Listen, Adrian and Attilio weren't buying a $10 million home, and
Yeah.
they still got Uber Dan.
Thank
And he
you.
bought us lunch. Thank you so much, Dan.
You bet. I enjoyed it. I want to share with you, which
Yeah.
is something that we talked about at lunch, that the Big Island is quickly establishing themselves as the center for luxury homes.
Yeah.
We've been running kind of neck and neck with Kauai to see who could sell the most expensive luxury home.
Yeah.
Or the next category was who could sell the most luxury home.
hmm
And it trades back and forth. But when you look at homes over $3 million, the majority of those sales have happened on the Big Island and
Wow.
really blow away all of the other islands as far as numbers go. It's not even close.
Yeah.
So the Big Island, again, really establishing itself as the premier luxury spot with the 6 resorts that we have along the west side of the island.
Yeah. And things are kind of bouncing back from the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of sales and the appreciation is, record setting.
Yeah.
And it's record setting all over the place. We did see a slump in sales in October across the board, across all of the brokerage firms, but that's just the symptom of the fact that there's little to no inventory.
Yeah.
Really little to no inventory.
And I've got one more question before we let you go, Dan. Now, over on Oahu, we have some new rules that are coming out on vacation rentals. Like, what's the vacation rental rules over there on Big Island?
Yeah, as it stands.
Is it?
Yeah. You can only have a short-term vacation rental that's in a short-term vacation rental zone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's some exceptions. There are some homes up Mauka that have been grandfathered in, right? And they have a short-term vacation rental that's allowed to be transferred. There's some homes that are, in and around in different spots that are in the same scenario. But if you're not in one of the zones, which again is primarily homes along the coast, from Captain Cook all the way, down to Mauna Kea, if you're not in one of those zones, you're not going to be eligible for a short-term vacation rental.
Okay.
That's the bottom line. And, as you know, we get clients all the time, buyers. I've got a whole list of buyers, and they send me like 10 homes they're interested in.
Yeah.
And they say, we want to do a short-term vacation rental and recoup some of our costs. And I look at the 10 homes that they send me, and not one of them is in a zone, in a short-term vacation rental zone. And so I have the unfortunate task of contacting them and saying, I'm sorry, none of these are going to qualify. And then they say, well, what does qualify? And I try to show them that, and they go, oh, well, that's not what we had in mind. Here's the other thing I get. I get all the time. Buyers always, right after we talk about the short-term vacation rental, the next word out of their mouth is, what type of money or what type of cash flow does this have? And then usually I have to break the news to them that it's probably not going to cash flow.
Yes.
And they don't understand that. They don't get that. They don't like, well, why wouldn't my vacation home cash flow? And I said, well, because the price point that you're looking at is so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And because you can't charge enough per night. And because the HOA dues on a $4 million home are going to be $3,000 a month, right? And the other expenses like landscaping at $1,200 a month, when you start adding up all of these fees, you're not going to cash flow. So I got really, I don't want to say tired of answering this question. I finally just wanted to do something about it. So this week I put together a pro forma. Much like you would in any other business. And we've got it on an Excel spreadsheet, and it basically lays out every penny of expense somebody would incur on buying a $4 million vacation home, single family, that they wanted to rent. And then at the end, it says, will this be a loss or a gain on a yearly basis? Do you want me to spoil the ending and tell you what it came out to be?
Loss.
The answer is it came out to be a loss. Okay. A $4 million home with a loan at 20% down and a 3.5% interest rate is going to roughly, plus all of the monthly expenses, is roughly going to cost you about $310,000 a year to own and operate. Best case scenario, if you rented it out at $1,500 a night, at a 70% occupancy rate, and you took in all the expenses as consideration, you're going to generate about $254,000. So you're going to recoup about 82% of your expenses in a calendar year.
If you never visited, because the whole point of it was to have a home there, but
then there's also the equity gain potential, right?
Paying off. So it's the bigger picture. The bigger picture.
So
that's what we tell them. I say, don't get so focused on monthly cash flow. Focus in on the bigger picture, is that this house is going to appreciate by 17% in 2022.
You want a cash flow, pay cash for a 2-bedroom condo. Then you got cash flow. Or, there's all the homes in the lava zone, active lava zone, are 100% vacation rentals, all short term to the next eruption.
Well,
they don't
the other thing you can do is you can pay cash, right? You can pay cash for a $4 million house.
There you go. Any cash flows.
And if you go $254,000 in revenue, you got a 6.4% return or a 6% cap rate.
Might be better than somewhere else you got your money.
There you go.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
All right.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay,
excellent
guys.
info this week.
Great talking with you.
You too. So that was Dan Polomino from KW Big Island.
All right. Next, we got Jake from Skyta Construction, Solar, Roofing.
Hi, Jake.
Hi, Jake.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Good. What you got for us this week?
Well, the good news report of the week is been running into a lot of homes out here that are looking towards getting their solar on, at least the solar process started by the end of the year so that they can take advantage of all the tax rebates and save the most money, get the best bang for their buck in 2021. And the good news is that with Skyta, we can do all of that and get the process started for them so they can take advantage of all the savings this year. So that's the really good news at this point, at this time of the year, as a lot of other people are like, oh man, we're totally slammed, can't fit it in. We still do have capacity.
That's great news. And then I also want to share some great news that I received from you and your company. We initially had done a look at my home, and you had thought I needed certain amount of panels and batteries, but then after assessing what I already had there, I really didn't need as many. So I was grateful for that.
Yeah.
You just had to fix a panel.
Yeah.
And so that was wonderful.
Yeah.
Plus I'm getting my batteries and getting
Well,
on the
you guys are part of the front line that's helping the Scott Siu, president and CEO of Hawaiian Electric, reach their goal. He just sent out a press release. The Hawaiian Electric sets their goal for 70% carbon reduction by 2030, 0 emissions by 2045. So you got a lot of battery programs to get out there. Jake,
you're part of the initiative.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the good news is the battery bonus program is, I actually called Scott, and it was a fun conversation. I actually called him and asked him, I'm like, hey, would love to get solar on your house, and talking to him personally about solar. And I'm super thankful for Hawaiian Electric opening up, and first time in history, they've allowed you as a homeowner to be able to get solar on your house and batteries on your house, and that they will help pay for them. So just like Adrian, you've got at your house, they're going to pay for a portion of batteries and to be able to help the grid and help Hawaiian Electric reduce their carbon emission. Yeah. And it's a first time in history. So if you've got a system on your house like Adrian does, and you're wondering, man, I don't want to have power outages at the house. I want to make sure I always have backup power, and I want Hawaiian Electric to help pay for that. This is the time to look into that. And as well, if you're wondering, man, is my old system even producing? I can't look at it anymore. We do no cost at home visit like we did for Adrian, and her production. She's got. How long ago did you get solar panels on your roof, Adrian?
I want to say like 12 years ago. It's been a while.
So you're a very early adapter, and now those panels, of course, will be degrading in the amount of juice and the amount of power that they give. And sometimes, they just need a little upgrade, which we can do. And we can as well show like, hey, this is the time to get more panels on the house. As you started getting a Hawaiian Electric bill again, you can add on to your system and have Hawaiian Electric help you out with that cost. So it's a really cool opportunity if you have a system on your home. And if you don't have a system on your home right now, let's get you locked in, build some equity in your house. If you're looking at your roof and you're like, man, my roof, I don't even know if my roof can support solar. Yeah. We can do roofs as well and bundle everything into where your roof and your solar are at, there's no installation cost. You just get a monthly payment with a 0% financing if you guys qualify. So
you guys also bundle in the AC as well. That's also another option. So just bundle it all in.
Bundle it all
for
in.
Those homeowners, bundle it all in, put it on a monthly cost. And for the customers that have good credit and their homes qualify, it is a super simple process to get all that helped out in one stop shop for you, whether it's solar, roof, or AC, or all three. So
it's kind of nice having that all under the roof, under one roof that you're going to install.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Well, thank you, Jake. Excellent tips this week.
And you know what? We are big believers in Skyta roof construction and solar because they're the 20 or in the future. They will be installing a roof for us on one of our homes.
That's right. So and then they're doing the solar on my house. So very excited.
Oh, and then eventually I'm going to be a baller and be getting some AC at my house too.
Eventually. Wow. AC.
Yep. Give me a plug-in for my Tesla. Just be, I'm never leaving my house except to drive my Tesla around the block.
All right. Thank you, Jake.
If I have one.
Thanks, guys. Great to chat with you.
You too.
Thanks, Jake.
So Jake, again, is with Skytech Construction, Roofing, and Solar. You can find out all about them on our website under the resource tab on Experts We Trust.
And it's super easy to get some numbers from them. You just give them electric bill. They can even do a Zoom. Keep you COVID safe. Do it all over the Zoom.
That's right. So we are going to take a break, but stay with us. When we come back, we'll be talking with Shane Andjelic-Davies of F45 Training. We're going to talk about how you can achieve your fitness goals in a community-friendly environment at F45.
All right. So stay with us.
Hey, it's Tina Holyfield with Royal Ride on Country 97.5. And I gotta say, my friends Adrian and Attilio of Team Lally will really go out of their way to sell your home. Just ask Matthew and Marsha Wharton. They were responsible for selling a family estate in La EA by long distance. They weren't even here. Team Lally hired landscapers, a handyman, and painters to get the home ready, plus arranged to sell their truck, a motorcycle, and many other items. Talk about going out of your way. Team Lally received multiple offers and sold the home above asking price. Even as an investor, Matthew told me this was the best service he's ever received from a realtor team. Even if your home needs a little bit of work, don't pull off selling while the market is hot. Call Adrian Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams, Honolulu. Call 799-9596. That's 799-9596. And tell them Dita sent you.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. To sell your home on time for the most money, you need a sharp agent with a marketing strategy that creates the most demand. Bottom line, you need a partner willing to put their own money on the line for you. In Hawaii, I would hire Adrian Lally and Attilio Leonardi. Their marketing strategy is so effective that if your home doesn't sell on terms you agree to, Team Lally will buy it. Partner with the team I trust. Go online or call and get your home sold.
Hey, Buck, as a real estate investor, if you were going to buy or sell property in Hawaii, what's the first thing you'd do?
That's an easy call. Call Adrian Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams, Honolulu. They've always guaranteed to sell your home or they will buy it. I love that confidence and the marketing that backs it up.
You aren't alone. Sean Hannity, Colin Cowherd, Scotty B, and Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank all agree with us. Team Lally are the agents we trust, and that trust is well-founded. They're selling homes for up to $70,000 over asking. What would you do with an extra $70,000?
How much time do you have? I mean, I've got a long list. Do yourself a favor. Check out all the reviews and see why thousands trust Team Lally. Google Team Lally, or if you want immediate answers, give them a call at 799-9596.
And don't forget to check out the Team Lally Real Estate Show right here every Saturday morning at 10. Get the best advice from Team Lally.
Tired of waiting 2 or 3 months to finalize your home loan or refinance? Jody Tonga and her team at Pacific Rim Mortgage have a turn time of 30 days or less by processing your loans locally.
Take advantage of today's low interest rates by calling our good friend Jody Tonga of Pacific Rim Mortgage. Her personal cell is 488-5510. That's 488-5510.
Hey, Adrian, guess what?
What, Attilio?
Jody has a huge secret.
Oh, yeah? What is it?
I can tell you.
Yes, you can.
Okay, here it is. Jody has a free home buying guide that reveals insider tips others may not want you to know.
Wow, how do I get this free home buying guide?
Easy. Just go to her website, pacificrim.com. That's PAC or PACRIMNTG.com.
I see the free home buyer guide has valuable information that can help me avoid mistakes and could cost me tens of thousands of dollars over the lifetime of my loan.
Yes. So check out their site. That's pacificrim.com or give her a call at 488-5510. That's 488-5510. What's the website?
It's PAC, P-A-C, RIM, R-I-M, Mortgage, MTG.com. Hawaii, NMLS ID 1032554.
The Team Lally Real Estate Show continues.
Give it to me, I'm worth it.
Welcome back, and thanks for listening to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. I'm Adrian.
And I'm Attilio.
And if you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596. Check us out online at teamlally.com.
Well, hey, everybody. We are welcoming our guest here. Is entrepreneur, investor, and wellness coach who was originally from Kalaheo, Hawaii, and currently calls Mililani home.
He is the founder and owner of F45 Training in Kahala, Kapolei West, Hawaii Kai, Ala Moana, Mililani, Kaneohe, and Kailua. The aim of F45 Training is to educate, motivate, and provide a safe environment for all members to achieve their fitness goals.
Please welcome our guest today, Shane Andjelic-Davies. Shane, are you there?
Yes, aloha.
Aloha. Welcome.
Welcome back.
So,
This is not his first time on the show.
usually we're like, where are you from originally? But we just told him in the introduction, so we got to skip that question. What made you decide to get into fitness?
Working
working with people. The intrinsic value in fitness is when you help somebody get healthier, it's priceless.
It's rewarding.
That feeling, you can't beat it when you help somebody. That's the key to it, and that's why.
Okay.
Now, Shane, you've been involved in all sorts of different types of fitness programs. What about this F45 is so special and differentiates from the rest?
It's F45 is the network that we can tap into. They actually, they were Fortune magazine called them the Apple of fitness. So what that means for us coaches is that we don't have to spend hours on the back end on trying to create programs and then all we need to do is show up, and our 100% focus is on building relationships with our members and teaching them how to move properly and understanding where they're at in life and working with them.
I give you guys a testimonial. I work out a lot, and it takes a lot to make me feel sore, but that workout this morning, my core is sore. My gluteus maximus are sore because that's a good workout. I'll even put that in a 5-star review on Yelp. Attilio Leonardi, my core is sore. That was a good workout. No, I mean, I'm serious. I do a lot of workout. It takes a lot to get me there. And what I want to say to that is you don't have to be some fitness nut like me. You can be, just a mom that's trying to get back into a wedding dress or a dad. I got to be PC. Maybe you want dad that's trying to get back into his wedding dress. F45. Let's talk about F45. What does the F stand for in the 45? What does that stand for?
Functional. So we train, functional fitness basically to aid your life. So, whether it be, just maintaining health, or if you like a sport outside, or just, being a responsible parent that, wants to play with their kids as they get 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80 years old.
Yeah.
So, we want you to perform as a human. It's not focused around looks or,
not being one sports fitness model at the cover of the magazine. You just want to be able to pick up the Legos from the floor and not throw your back out.
Exactly that. Go for hikes.
Go for hikes. Yeah, because we got beautiful hikes here on Oahu.
Yeah, so you mentioned about like the sports model. So I noticed at the Kapolei location, I've not been to every location, but there's no mirrors. What is the purpose behind that part of the F45?
Yeah, no mirrors.
The coaches are your mirrors. We're the ones that can see the proper angles.
Yeah.
So you don't need to, and unless you are like bodybuilding and you need to look at yourself.
You're like an Instagram worker out person that, oh, look at me. I'm working out.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know an iPhone was part of the gym.
So the coaches are the mirrors. They're telling you if your form is off.
They're motivating you.
Yep.
They're encouraging you, making sure you don't get hurt, helping you with modifications. It's super. It's awesome. It's like your own personal cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
When you're hanging, they're like, Attilio, you got this. That's nice. Can they come to my house? Attilio, you got this.
I think some of the coaches out at Kapolei probably were cheerleaders at one time with how motivating they are.
Or adagios.
Yeah.
Cheerleaders and adagios.
Guys can be cheerleaders too.
That's what an adagio is.
They're cheerleaders.
Yeah, that's a guy.
You can still call a guy a
Word of the day. No, I call them adagios.
Okay.
So, let's see. So F45, you talked about, and we can speak to it because we both go. You guys have a lot of class times, 7 days a week.
Yeah, lots of options.
I've seen some as early as 5 a.m. and as late as 7 p.m.
So no excuses.
No excuses. So, what else can you tell us about the workouts? I know you were mentioning on our live streaming, you were talking about the physiology and all the research and stuff that they go through for these workouts.
Yeah, so each workout is also tested and designed, and actually to be different every day. So you actually will never do the exact same workout for as long as you're with us. So we have over 4,000 different exercises recorded, and they blend them into the workouts to where you want to what they want you to focus on. So some days would be more focusing on maybe like calisthenics with cardiovascular. Other days would be like more, strength training.
Yes.
It's all going to be around balance and core movement. So a lot of people feel I got to work on my core, which they say that's your six pack, if you will.
Yeah.
But that's not. Your core is if you were to touch yourself, hit the top of your knee all the way up to the top of your chest.
Yeah.
That includes your glutes and hip flexors and everything. So majority of the exercises are going to work around your core and your strength. And that's how you can have, maximize output when you do need to lift heavy or.
Well, I want to point out to us, us people on the west side at Capole, when he means six pack, he's not talking about green bottles. He's talking about your core. But go ahead,
So
Adrian.
Shane, you had mentioned about all the different exercises. Why is that so important to have all these different workouts and changing the movements daily?
There's a lot of different things. I think the biggest thing everyone knows is that you will never plateau because you're always doing something different. And then secondly, if your body, say you're in an accident or you have to carry something awkward, your body has to be prepped for those different movements. As you get more, if you introduce more different movements to your body, that reduces injury. Like we talk about hiking, when you stumble over that rock and you start going sideways, if you're training to start moving those movements, that's going to reduce injury in your back, especially ankles, knees, where everyone normally starts getting hurt.
And you say when we get older, you hear a lot more cracking and popping when you get out of bed. And it's not because you're doing a dance from the 80s. It's because it's all your joints and your muscles not getting some movement.
So Shane, you had mentioned avoiding the injury with these awkward kind of movements.
Oh, you know what my favorite one is?
What?
I was thinking about, because I really got into Downton Abbey, back in about the royalty and the families back then, the curtsy squat that we do. I was thinking, man, these princesses back then, when they got in front of the queen, they must have been ripped doing all them curtsying with and stuff. Maybe they had curtsy training back. That's where that came from, right? From the prince and the curtsy squat. That's an interesting move because I feel it everywhere.
Good.
Yeah. And now I know. Now I can bow low if the Queen of England was to come visit Oahu.
Good, you're prepared.
I'm prepared.
Yeah.
So Shane, I think on one of our last shows, you had mentioned one of the members, because of the training that they were doing with F45. Yeah, that they had done some life-saving things. Actually, you had a couple members.
Tell us that story.
Tell us again.
About the nurse.
Oh, yeah. The nurse.
Mooks.
So there's two parts to her story. One, she started training with F45 because being a nurse and being a smaller person, I think she's probably 115 pounds wet, her back was tightening up and she fell in love with kite surfing. So she would go out kite surfing, and by 45 minutes in, her back's tightened up. She has to go in. So she actually started training with us so she could start kite surfing 2 to 3 hours.
Wow.
And so she did. She started training 2 to 3 hours, no problem. And then one day she's out at the moat, and the 300-pound guy fell off a fishing boat going around the corner, drowned. She actually dipped over there with her kite and seen it, saw the other people weren't helping. Obviously, he was 300 pounds. Swam them into the moat and revived them.
Wow.
Again, she's still 115, 120 pounds. So let alone that feat herself. If she wasn't training, it'd be very doubtful for her to have the cardiovascular to swim someone like that in.
Yeah.
During that process, she did tear her shoulder. She had a tear in the shoulder, but that prepped her. The training with us. She was training with us for about a little over a year at that point.
Yeah.
She was like, "There's no way I could have did this without the training." And funny, if you looked at her, a year in advance, she was already kind of athletic.
Yeah.
And then so again, it's not about looks. You look a little bit stronger after a year, but, unless you really look, you wouldn't see a much different person outside of her performance at work or her fun play.
And I'm glad you mentioned that about the aesthetics of it, the exterior, the mirrors, because I think that's what holds a lot of the people that need to be in the gym back from going in the gym. There was a comedian who said it, "Oh, as soon as I get in better shape, I'm going to go to the gym." No, you go to the gym to get in better shape. And I like what you said, we do need more and more local people checking it out because, it's the right thing to do for your family, for your kids, for yourself.
So on the health side, tell us about that
The
machine you have there.
That machine, InBody.
The InBody. Yeah. What is that?
Yeah,
what is that?
InBody machine is it's a $6,000 machine that it can be added on to $10,000. This is what doctors honestly should be using.
Yeah.
And to do it, when you go to UH John Burns School or if you go in the military on more of the special ops, they'll have these machines. So we invest into them in all locations. Why? Because we want to know your muscle mass, your water, your body fat percentage, because it's fact, clinically proven, as your body fat goes over what it should be, that's where diabetes sets in, depression sets in, heart disease.
Yeah.
So we could take those real life, empirical data from you, and then we can give you the proper nutrition and the proper training exercise to get rid of those for that unwanted body fat. And so you're giving. I like to call ourselves health providers, even though we can't claim we're doctors. But we're getting people off medication.
Well,
and we're doing it properly.
Yeah, and you're doing what's called healthcare prevention, as opposed to, most of our healthcare system is sick care because people are already sick at that point when they're going to the hospital. And you're doing more of the non-prescriptive preventative healthcare, which is working out. I think with that machine, I know it runs it's an imperceptible amount of current that runs through your body to get the reading. You can't even tell. But I think they should ramp it up. And then when you go on the machine, you ask them, what is your favorite sweet, high-calorie, low-nutrient food you like to eat? And then it administers a shock. So when they say ding-dongs, 32-ounce Diet Pepsi. No, it doesn't do that. But
You know what does that, though? These challenges that F45 does.
Yeah, tell us about the challenge.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have a 45-day challenge that runs. It used to be run every quarter. Now it's actually more than that. I think 5 to 6 times a year. We hoo you up. We get your stats. We work with you on nutrition. We build teams every other one. So you become part of a team. So you're not focusing by yourself or trying to focus by yourself. You actually become part of a team, which takes away the monotony of changing the way you eat, showing up to the gym. Yeah. And it's kind of like
it's pure accountability.
Exactly. You know, like when we were kids going to sports, it was like, all right, we got to show up. Doesn't matter. We got to show up for the team.
Yeah. So a lot of times we're more accountable to others than we are to ourselves. And in the end, that works because then you're being accountable to yourself by getting in the gym.
Yeah, and our success ratio with the teams is well over 90%. If not 100% participation, even if they only did lose 1% body fat in 45 days. But on average, I like to, since we're talking about teams, I will take everybody's, and consecutively, we will average out of like 90 people over 300 pounds of body fat being lost, over 100% body fat decrease. So, and about 3 to 4 to 5 pounds of muscle gain. So in retrospect, 5 pounds of fat is like a loaf of bread. 5 pounds of muscle is like your fist.
Yeah.
So huge feat, within 45 days. And then those people can take that knowledge, because it's not a get rich quick, lose fat quick kind of deal where you're starving yourself. No. You get that knowledge and you start understanding, like, hey, that you're maybe have some allergies against foods that you never knew.
Mhm.
Your energy levels, these foods really make me tired. These foods actually gave me a lot of energy. I never felt that before, you know. And then they keep moving forward, and you've seen them. The other girls lost 70 pounds within a year. Alicia over 50. You know, we've got people who, on average, every day, all day, 20 pounds, you know, within 40 days. So,
I like about the demographics, it's just everyday people. These are not like Instagram fitness models.
No.
And if you are one, sure, you can come too. And nothing against that, but it's just everyday people trying to get healthy and live longer and have a better lifestyle.
And
for
have
their
fun
family.
too.
And have fun because you got the music.
And there's a good community.
There's a good community. Hey, you know, I know when you go to a regular class, you're like, hey, I never see you. Where you were?
Shane, talk about the community part of the model.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, especially you guys as entrepreneurs, the way you become successful in life, you hang out with successful people.
Yeah.
You know, and you hang out with good people. And by default, you know, F45, same with CrossFit, same with like, you know, the martial arts program.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it creates a humility, which the average person that's humble is very nice.
Yes.
So we don't have any. I don't have any bad apples, you know. And out of all the locations, and we don't have that ego. It's a trip, and that's the cool thing too. Going back to like F45, I've had an NFL player come get his butt totally whooped while Auntie's right next to her, and she's getting her butt totally whooped. All they have to do is bring a little bit more energy, add a little bit more weight. So the beautiful thing about F45 is that you're getting what the NBA, the NFL, the pro soccer player, the way you're
professional athletes are getting
trained, you're just going at your level. So we're never dumbing down the training for you. We're giving you the exact same training that you need to get. You just take it at your step.
I know.
And
when the brother next to me is with the 60-pound dumbbells, hey, I'm no shame. I got the 13-pound dumbbell.
Oh yeah, all day.
But we're both sweating just as much and getting the workout that we need individually. That's what I like about it.
So Shane, for anyone that wants to come and check it out, what kind of new member offerings or how would they do that?
How do we do that?
So sign up for a 1 week trial. We always want people to understand. Okay, it takes me 50 minutes to drive here from our house. You know, meet the people. Meet with Coach Character, Coach Justin. They'll do the body fat. They'll understand your goals and needs. Say you just had surgery or you had a surgery 10 years ago and it's still acting up. We put that in our notes. And when our coaches do our check-in, they'll see and they see like anything that really needs to be addressed. That person will have like a sign on them. Okay. And then what that does is our coaches will always know, okay, so-and-so has his knee replacement. So we got to make sure they're doing more torque on their squats and following. We ask the question. So we get you prepped and then try out for 1 week. If you like it, then you join. You know, we're all month to month. There's no contract. And, we keep people because we treat them right.
Yeah. I think you guys are more focused on serving people than collecting a monthly membership.
And you've got plenty of locations to choose from, which is wonderful. Right. And you keep adding more and more. Yeah.
So I would say it's kind of like it's just a variety of training in a group environment with 2 coaches running around and with community. What more ingredients would you want for success?
Great music. Yeah.
And good music.
Good energy.
And all kind of music. They got 80s music, they got heavy metal, and then
I even heard some Disney music
at times. Music. But you know what it is? It's got that
it's just for fun.
Certain beats per minute, though, because it keeps just keeping up the pace. So you're going to hear, it's a whole new world. But it's going, which is fun. Yeah, it keeps the energy levels up. Because here's what I always tell people. Nobody's like, well, I'm excited about going to a workout. You got some crazies that are like that. But most people always, I would say 100% of everybody feels better after a workout.
Yes.
And you're glad you went.
Yes.
And
100%.
Yeah. So,
mental health.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it helps with, you just said, mental health. Helps with depression. If people just did a minimum of 30 minutes of exercise 5 days a week, I'm telling them go 7. There's all these medications and all of this and depression and all of these huge positive effects that people would have. So, Shane, we've been talking about on the show that I've been telling people for years, we've been doing this for 10 years, that they need to go to the website called getoffyourbuttandDoSomething.com. Instead, we're going to have them go to F45's website.
That's right. Go to the F45 website and get signed up for your 1 week free trial.
Do the 1 week free trial.
And then join.
I like when the first members come for the first day, we welcome them and we clap for them.
Yeah.
We say, welcome, Susie. It's her first day. And then we give her a round of applause.
Well, thank you, Shane, for coming back and sharing with us all about fitness and your different locations and all the big difference that you're making in our community with health.
We appreciate it.
No, thank you guys for bringing us on and being part of the family. We love you guys up here.
Okay. Well, thank you, Shane, for being on the show.
Yes.
Okay. You have a good day. Huh? Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
Let me do a plug. So I was listening to the commercial between and Jody, the mortgages is on it. She's a member too as well. Her and her husband have been for a couple of years. And
nice.
Yeah, that's another thing too. The networking in between. I've had people literally, I hook them up, and 2 weeks later, the mortgage person works with the real estate person, and they got their house. And that's the kind of network that we promote. That we work with each other. We're sweating with them daily. We're building those friendships and then supporting each other. So on that note,
so you can go up to Jody and say,
Jody,
give me a 0.25% reduction in my interest rate on my mortgage and give me 50 push-ups.
And she could do it. She's pretty strong.
Yeah.
She's a mortgage genius, and she's also a very fit lady.
She's a fit mom.
She is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shane.
Thank you, Shane.
Okay. Thank you guys for doing what you do.
All right. Aloha.
All right. So make sure go and check them out at the F45.com.
They got locations pretty much everywhere, and then I think soon to be Mililani, Kaneohe, Kailua.
So it's F45Training.com, and then it's like a / Kapolei West / Kahala / Hawaii Kai.
You know what? It's called / get your butt in the gym and go do some working out. It's only 45 minutes.
And it's fun.
And it's fun and engaging. What I don't like about workouts is when they become boring and like drudgery.
Yeah, they're always different.
Nobody enjoys that.
No.
These are always different. You can pick different exercises, different things. They got all imaginable kind of equipment in there.
Especially with the holidays coming up and, all the food and extra eating. Yeah. This is the perfect time to get started.
You know what? Speaking of which, we'll give out some tips for the holiday eating. We got this from a dietitian, an actual dietitian. It was, check out the whole buffet before you go and load your plate up.
All right. On that note, thanks for listening, and thank you to our sponsors.
We got Jody and Derek with Pacific Rim Mortgage.
Bradley with Allstate Insurance.
Angie with Pivotal Pulse Home Inspection.
John with Kilauea Pest Control.
Duke, Hawaii Pacific Property Management.
Kyle with Impact Wealth Solutions.
Robinson with Fine Line Paintworks.
James with Kaji Cleaning.
Chastity with American Floor and Home.
Jake with Skytech Construction Roofing and Solar.
Broderick with Zero Res Hawaii. If you want to get a hold of any of our sponsors, just go to teamlally.com.
We also want to give a big thank you to Leah Rodriguez, our producer here in the studio. Make sure to tune in next week. We'll have an awesome guest talking about something that'll change your life
forever. This is the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the guaranteed
sold program. We can sell your home at the agreed upon price and your time frame. We'll have a bop for cash. Thanks and aloha.
The preceding program was sponsored by Team Lally.